Let me tell you this. The PNP house is crumbling. You can't be a good leader. And all of your leaders, they're leaving the party every single day. One more leaving the PNP. They want to leader you with. It means that your own people don't have no confidence in you. They have more confidence in the government of Jamaica and Andrew Holness leadership. The chairman said that he saw the light, but I was saved by the bell. Westmoreland, let me hear you. Andrew Holness, labor rights, let me hear you. One message. I want you to understand that while we come to the conferences and we listen to the message, at the end of the day, the real and the hard work must be done on the ground. Labor rights, do not take anything for granted. This election is a serious election. And we must win, and we will win. Eastern Westmoreland, labor rights. We have been waiting for some time now to have a meeting of this magnitude in Westmoreland. I have a message for your labor rights. If you look at what the other party is putting up against our three candidates in Westmoreland, it is quite clear that they do not have the interests of the people of Westmoreland at heart. Labor rights, you have a man contesting in Western Westmoreland and another man in Eastern Westmoreland. Former members of Parliament who served not one, not two terms at times in their constituency. They were recently rejected by the people in Hanover and in Senton. In fact, labor rights, one of them born and bred in the Northwest, Senton, and was rejected by his own people. All of a sudden, they find themselves in Westmoreland. The people of Westmoreland must send a clear message to those two rejects. That if you can't shine in your yard, you can't go abroad. What can they bring to the people of Westmoreland that they were not able to bring to their hometown in Hanover and Senton? Labor rights, this is something that we must seriously contemplate. If you were rejected, having served 1, 2, and in another case 3 terms, what can you bring to Western Westmoreland and Eastern Westmoreland? We have 2 candidates in Garfield James in Western Westmoreland and Danny Lawrence in Eastern Westmoreland. 2 men who the people know, who have never abandoned the people of Westmoreland, and it will continue to serve the people of Westmoreland. Now, Liberites, there's a third guy. Selector, what a little thing.
Good people, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing great, and today we're going to take a deep dive into the recent Jamaican Labour Party conference in the Westmoreland, highlighting a perceived significant shift in the Jamaican political landscape. I'd like to emphasize on the JLP's soaring confidence and a stark contrast with the People's National Party PNP, which is depicted as crumbling. So the JLP's asserted strength and public confidence. Let's talk about that. The JLP's narrative at the conference positions them as the party of progress, stability, and public trust. A key theme is the surging public confidence in the current JLP government, which they claim is at an all-time high. This assertion is reinforced by the defection of Dr. Ian Miles, a former PNP councillor who now serves as a JLP councillor and describes the PNP as a house that is crumbling, with leaders abandoning ship daily due to a loss of faith in their own leadership. So this shift is presented as proof that the JLP has delivered a fundamental lesson to the PNP. You simply can't take that Jamaican people for granted. Let us watch the full clip of this speech, and then I'll be back to analyze it.
Alone. And in this particular case, I tell the PNP to leave Jamaica alone. You need to know what you can manage and what you can't manage. Leave Jamaica alone. Jamaica is at a good place. We can't turn back. At this point in time, I am going to be introducing someone to you. He has seen the light just like I have seen it. And he's here, shining ever brighter. Are you ready? From Central Kingston, please everyone welcome Lawrence Rowe. Shout, shout, shout. Right. What a real party nice. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. So a Liberites. So a Liberites. So a Liberites. They might try all sorts of things when I touch the rope on them. But from the 4th of January, I told them that I will be on the road terrorizing them day and night. So hear me now. Upon receiving the invitation to be here, I couldn't hesitate. After working with my own member of parliament in Central Kingston for 2 days, I feel comfortable. So it means I can take set for some other people. And I want to tell you, Westmoreland was once a stomping ground for the PNP. This was once their republic. 3 parliamentary seats and 14 local government seats. For decades, every time they start their campaign, I just saw them come first. And you have taught them a fundamental lesson to take poor people for food. So hear me now. I was born at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. And then my mom brought me home in Almontown. Shortly after, she separated with my father. So I went to Horatio Drive in Chancery Hall. I lived in a modest structure. Board house, pit toilet, no running water, and choke electricity. I had to boom drive to school in Almontown. I had to beg drive. I had to sing on bus. I attended 2 basic school, 1 infant, 2 primary, 1 all age, 1 high school, and I continue till I have a decent education. So none of them can fool me. I am the only individual that they will place as a candidate, and they have to formally write to me and tell me why. And have to beg me to stay the course with them. But hear me now. My bloodline is from their compound Maroons. A long time when I like slave masters. I have served that movement for over 2 decades. I gave them my all. And a boy and a girl over there can't say them they are my need. My blood, sweat and tears. I have some liberty to take with them now. But I'm going to do it in Central Kingston when we launch that campaign. Because they took some liberty with me down there. And I am going to deal with them properly. So hear me now. When they conducted their pollings across the island, I had the highest voter intention nationally. No more polling, not David Campbell, not Damian Crawford, not even Lisa Hanna when they poll her in Eastern St. Andrew. So how can you discard something of value? I look like you. I look like you. I sound like you. I am from you. I honor, burn you, and not left you. I am your picnic. And you wouldn't want your child to sit at this or go on an interview and pass and get the work. You will be most upset. So hear me now. My situation is like the ordinary man. I grew up in an inner city community. I have no criminal record. I purchased my home in Phoenix Park and purchased 2 cars and invested in politics. And when I left, I rocked up debt close to 30 million. I had to allow them to repossess my house and sold 2 of my figures so I can be financially healthy and stable again. I made sacrifices. Look, when them did I go to school, a taxi bring them to school, only champion, we know them attend, because when I hear about them classmates at any other school, so we want to see them burn paper, we want to know where you're born. When we first ask you how much nationality you have, and you get off the plane with your wife. So hear me now, I will put speakers there. I will have other opportunities elsewhere, but I serve as their data manager. I'm one to the targets for all constituency divisions and polling divisions. And they went on the road in 2024. And just before that, they terrorized the Prime Minister. And as good as they performed in 2024, had it been a general election, the seat count would be 32-31 in favor Andrew Michael Holness. 1 year later, polls have been conducted across the island, and we see mark polling numbers plummeting. We know the term term is not loading. It has loaded, and we are ready for the green light. So, I have journeyed across Jamaica when Portia was leader. And I remember on the 29th of December when she was victorious. And in January when she was sworn in as Prime Minister, she held Dr. Andrew Michael Holness's hand and said, "This is my son." Now as Portia beat me, Andrew is my brother. And just as how I trusted her, I have to trust my brother to continue her legacy. Unemployment is low, poverty is low, debt to GDP is on the right path, and I am saying to my brother, bro God, give the green light. We're ready.
So good people, I hope we've watched the whole clip, and let me talk about this. The JLP probably highlights the enthusiasm and high attendance at their conferences, contrasting it with the perceived lack of passion at PNP gatherings. This difference in public engagement, they argue, speaks volumes about where the people's hearts and minds truly lie. Furthermore, the JLP emphasizes peaceful and respectful transitions of leadership, citing examples within their own party as a mark of maturity and unity. This is presented as a direct contrast to what they allege is internal strife and undermining within the PNP. Economically, the JLP points to tangible improvements under their leadership as a source of optimism. They cite historically low unemployment rates, declining poverty levels, and a national debt on the right path towards sustainable management. These are presented as real improvements that translate into better lives for everyday Jamaicans. So, Jamaicans, is it true? Whatever these people are saying in the clips, is it true? We have Lawrence Rowe, a prominent JLP figure, escapulating this optimism, stating that Jamaica is at a good place and I quote, "we can't turn back at this point in time," end of quote, underscoring a conviction to protect and build upon the achieved progress. So he also goes ahead expressing deep trust in Prime Minister Andrew Michael Holness, highlighting a sense of camaraderie and the shared vision. And on the PNP's side, there is the perceived weakness and internal strife. And I think this speech was painting a grim picture of the PNP, repeatedly describing it as crumbling due to a continuous exodus of leaders who have lost faith in the party's direction. Westmoreland, historically a PNP stronghold, is presented as an example of their diminishing grip, attributing to the PNP taking poor people to fall. So Lawrence Rowe's personal testimony serves as a powerful indictment of the PNP's internal practices. You see, despite his dedication and popularity, he has claimed he was discarded by the PNP, leading to a significant financial losses. And his decision to speak out is aimed at exposing the character of these people, alleging cruel injustice and the PNP taking advantage of its own people. This narrative of mistreatment of loyal members is framed as a systemic flaw, eroding trust and loyalty within the party. So they're trying to say that PNP is falling apart. Is it true, Jamaicans? Okay, the JLP is also pointing to declining poll numbers for the PNP across the island, using vivid imagery to suggest a complete collapse in public support. And then let us talk about the unsuitable candidate selection and disrespect for voters. Well, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, an NP, sharply criticizes the PNP's choice of candidates for Westmoreland, flat out calling them rejects. He emphasizes that two of the PNP's chosen candidates previously served multiple terms as MPs but were recently rejected by the people in other constituencies like Hanover and St. Anne. He goes ahead highlighting one candidate who was rejected by his own people in Northwest. St. Andrew Wheatley has used this Jamaican proverb, and I quote, "If you can't trade an iron, you can't go abroad." And of course, to question the candidate's ability to deliver for Westmoreland if they fail in their own hometowns. This is framed as a lack of respect by the PNP towards the intelligent people of Westmoreland, suggesting that the party is simply recycling discarded politicians, right? So, in contrast, the JLP introduces what they believe are strong local candidates for Westmoreland, like Dr. Garfield James and Danny Lawrence, who they argue have deep roots in the community and proven commitment to its residents. So, let us talk about the importance of groundwork and voter mobilization. Beyond grand speeches, the JLP emphasizes the necessity of hard work on the ground. Dr. Garfield James, the new candidate for Westmoreland, stresses that, and I quote, "the real and the hard work must be done on the ground," and of quote, "where elections are truly won." He issues a call to action to all JLP party workers, urging them not to take anything for granted and to actively connect with people, inform them about the JLP's vision, and help get out the votes. His message is clear. This election is a serious election and we must win, and we will all win. End of quote. So, when do people shape a candidate and selection and rejection? So, there is the influence of past political experiences. And from the speech, how it highlights how past political experiences profoundly influence current candidate selections and rejections. The rejection by voters in previous constituencies is a critical factor. Dr. Wheatley's critique of the PNP's Westmoreland choices perfectly illustrates this, arguing that their past electoral failures in other areas indicate unsuitability for future roles. The proverb, and I quote, "If you can't shine in your yard, you can't shine abroad," encapsulates this belief. A candidate's inability to perform effectively in their familiar territory predicts failure elsewhere. That's the meaning. Like, okay. Party loyalty and perceived betrayal also plays a significant role, as exemplified by Lawrence Rowe's personal account. His narrative of being discarded by the PNP despite years of service and high internal poll numbers influences public perception of the PNP's internal processes and how they treat their members. Such perceived acts of betrayal can lead to high-profile defections and erode voter confidence. Finally, defection and loss of confidence by key individuals like Dr. Ian Miles underscore the impact of internal dissatisfaction. When respected figures abandon a party due to a lack of faith in its leadership or direction, it only diminishes the party's talent pool but also weakens its overall strength and public image, signaling deeper organizational problems. Okay, in essence, you see, the JLP conference narratives emphasize that a candidate's electoral history, their perceived loyalty or betrayal by a party, and their overall effectiveness in previous roles are not mere footnotes but critical factors that profoundly influence political parties' current candidate elections and ultimately whether they will be accepted or rejected by the discerning voters of Jamaica. So, according to all this, what are your thoughts on how historical political affiliations and individual experiences might continue to shape future elections in Jamaica? Tell me what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share this video. Turn on post notifications so that every day I post new videos, you'll be the first person to get notified about my work. Subscribe so that we can become a family and a community at the same time. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.